Hello everyone, welcome to Cinema Sanyasi, where movie meets motion. So in today's video, we are going to talk about Superman movie directed by James Gunn. The first thing I want to talk about is the movie has delivered what it has promised in its teaser and trailer. The good thing about the movie is that it is not recreating the comic books, stories, and characters into something more serious and very realistic characters, which was already done previous. Even in the DC, the previous Superman version is so ground realistic in its emotions, and it is very raw, rustic, and serious in tone. Or in this new restart of Superman franchise, they choose to stick to the comic book vibes of the movie. The very nature we like these superheroes and all these things are they are comics. They are made up stories in which we kind of by reading these stories we kind of escape from this real world. To be frank, I really enjoyed the previous films in which all the comic movies were adapted into more realistic human or serious tone, realistic characters. But I kind of got bored out. So I have watched this movie in 3D, and this is one of the best 3D movies I have watched recently. This is something different from other normal 3D films, and this looks it kind of gives us a feeling that we are into the comic world, comic book world. So that's very interesting. This Superman is different from all the previous Superman movies, and this one I personally like so much because it is the emotions are realistic enough not to disturb the entertainment of the comic storyline, but still delivering the characters' core values, core emotions to the audience. So that's some kind of a very critical balance to maintain here: humanistic, realistic emotions with comic style and unrealistic, very out of the box plot points, which are only can be seen in comic world. But however, James Gunn and the entire story screenplay team of this movie have achieved this balance very perfectly. So we still get rooted to the character, we still get emotions towards the character, but those emotions does not spoil the racy, to be frank, corny comic book style of plot points and everything. So the one thing I liked in the movie is that there are so many exceptionally interesting points. They have like took out every possible comic book elements and presented in this film. To be frank, the spoilers ahead, I'm going to discuss the briefly about the things in this plot. So it's very interesting how they included so many scientific plot points, but still kept the story very simple and very easy to understand. For example, there is a sequence where Superman is taken into and imprisoned into a pocket universe that was created especially to cage or imprison the Superman. So Lex Luthor creates this pocket universe, and to be frank, this pocket universe, all the science and the information behind it would be very boring if it was told in any other style, like the previous versions in which the Superman was adapted into more realistic sense. In this movie, all these plot points, they are very simple, even though the actual plot is more complex and more sci-fi based, but you will still feel like everything is going very simply and easily. James Gunn has delivered that kind of a narrative where you will be walked through so many superheroes, so many sci-fi concepts like pocket universe. There is one character called Element Man. He can regenerate any kind of element in this universe, and he literally creates a sun inside a small room in the pocket universe, just so that he can revive the Superman. These kind of sequences are only more often seen in the comic books rather than in real live action movies. So that's one heck of a beautiful sequence where this Element Man creates a artificial sun, creation of the pocket universe, the destruction of the pocket universe, and there will be a sequence where Superman will be saving a small child while he is drowning in a lava. Everything is so edge of the seat and thrilling and entertaining action sequence. And I have observed, like, for every 10 to 15 minutes you will find one action sequence where something crazy happens. And this one more thing, it's not just a Superman movie. There will be another bunch of superheroes called Justice Gang. So in this movie, in this version of the Superman is, I believe, the way they portrayed or presented Superman is in such a way. Superman is more like a basically child at his heart. He will only see everything in a good point of view, in a good perspective, like a child sees the world so positively. Our Superman also looks good in everything, even in the bad people. Childlike innocent character. That's really very fresh take on Superman. And the 3D is terrific. Graphics are so good. The plot line contains so many elements and aspects. You can't really there is no space for you to get bored or get distracted. You will the story, the sequences, the animation, the characters will keep you engaged. The entire movie is a roller coaster ride of some grand action sequences and comic style fights, but still we get rooted to the Superman in his core emotional state. So no matter you are a Marvel fan or a DC fan or any fan, if you go to this movie, you'll come out really liking Superman. And some people might not like this comic book style vibes of the film. You'll definitely fall in love with the Superman character, because that's how beautiful it was created and presented in the film. So now coming to few points where I felt it could be a little bit better. To be frank, there is no negative aspects in this film. To me, everything worked out very well and everything's so good. Coming to the areas where I felt like it could be even a little bit more, they could have explored more in this scene and this sequence, is the fight sequence between Superman and his evil clone, black Superman version. So I felt like probably they could have emphasized this fighting a little bit more, because it was a very short sequence, and I felt like if the Superman is fighting himself, it should be a little bit more long and more high staked action sequence. That does not happen here. Crypto is really a very good addition to the film. It gave an entirely fresh, very funny, entertaining angle to the entire Superman movie story. One last point I would like to say is that even though they adapted a comic book style of narrative and plot presentation, they still stick to emotionally grounding the Superman into real human emotions with their parents and his values and moral. That's really something I appreciate about the film. If that is not done properly, the film is nothing more than a small comic style corny action film, superhero action film. Thankfully, the makers did do that, and Superman is very relatable and very lovable character in this one. This is how a superhero movie should be treated. Forget about the comic book style or serious tone, whatever or the other things. The main aspect or element of the film should be how a hero or can be relatable to a normal human being. It is through their emotional core and values and morals that they want to follow and that they struggle to follow. That's what make a superhero relatable to a common man. That is done exceptionally well in this film without disturbing the comic book style or the light-hearted funny take of the Superman. So that's all about the Superman film. Let's meet in the next video. Until then, tata, bye bye. Keep watching Cinema Sanyasi, where movie meets moksha.